So, I decided to do a video review of the Apple Earpods Lightning version because I was actually pleasantly surprised by these. So, starting off with the fit. I remember I've always had trouble fitting these earphones because they would just fall out of my ears, but inserting them the same way I do the variations, I'm actually able to get a seal. So, I pull back on my ear and then slide them in as deep as I can, then let go. You can actually hear driver crackling with these, but I mean, whatever, I guess. $30 earbuds. And yeah, it fits like that. And if I shake my head and stuff, it will fall out, or if I'm moving around, it has fallen out. But if I'm just sitting in place for the most part, it does stay in place. Maybe it'll slide out a bit after some time, but it's not that bad. Man, I really need to get a new chair for this room. This thing creaks like crazy. But anyway, so in terms of fit, yeah, the variations is definitely better for my ear. I just put it in, stays in place, shake my head, whatever, it still just stays in place. So that's why, I mean, one of the main reasons I can't even use these is because of fit. So, okay, now let's talk about sound quality. The reason these surprised me is that the upper mid-range and treble accuracy is very good. It actually sounds quite similar to the variations. Maybe variations has a bit better upper treble extension. Cymbals are a little bit more clear on the variations, but the only real problem I'd say with these is that the mid bass slash lower mids is way too forward. It's surprising because when I looked up graphs of these, it really doesn't show significant bass extension, but when I insert them like this and get a good seal, I'm getting so much bass on these earphones, like crazy amounts of bass. It even sounds like it has more bass than the variations. So I don't think any of the measurements online actually were with the perfect seal because these have way more bass than how they graph online. The thing about the Moondrop variations is that they're tuned to sound like a large acoustically dead room with flat on-axis speakers with good directivity crossed over to subwoofers at around 105 Hz, and there are enough subwoofers to provide a consistent bass response across all listening positions and throughout the room, maybe even significantly high in level. But yeah, so when you listen to music videos, for example, with the Moondrop variations, you can really actually see the singer or whatever at the correct location on the screen, but the thing about these is that the mid bass slash low mids are so high that it's kind of confusing. There's cognitive dissonance because the vocals somewhat sound like they're underwater and what's happening on the screen doesn't actually reflect what you're hearing. So in terms of accuracy, these really aren't there, but they are actually listenable, surprisingly. Like, you get mid-bass slam if that's what you want. Apple House Sound, actually did something not necessarily neutral with these in the mid-bass, but you can hear the Apple House sound in these earphones, considering, they're $30 and whatever. Like, whoever in the Apple House Sound team tuned these clearly, succeeded with their job because, there's only one driver in here. You can't have Moondrop variations like bass unless you decide to use EQ DSP with DSP that these obviously did not do. And, aside from the mid-bass issue, these sound pretty normal. Like, as I said, mid-range clarity, accuracy, treble accuracy is good, maybe aside from a little bit muted in the upper treble. I don't know, these sound fine. Like, the main issue you will have with these is if you're watching music videos, because then it will be super obvious that there's something wrong with the timbre in the mid bass where, like I said, the vocals just don't sound anything like they appear on the screen. So yeah, I mean, the sub bass extension is good. It's not like it graphs where it just like drops to the floor, because clearly these graphs are not with perfect seal like what you can get if you insert these correctly. So yeah, pleasantly surprised with the Apple Earpods not second generation, but Lightning version. I'd say they're still worse than the Moondrop variations because of the mid-bass issue mainly, and variations has slightly better treble extension, I guess, but okay, received a text. But I obviously don't recommend you go and buy these because, I mean, everyone has these, but maybe it's a good reality check of sorts because these are kind of like the de facto earbuds and they sound pretty alright. So yeah, that's it for this review. I'd like to give a shout out to Noodle, Connor Ton, Zeroskun, Eonas, Ninja 3, Dimas Springas, Castle 414, Vsauce 4, Whittier Snavery, Ulix, Felix, Mild Bill, Christopher Yu, The Raffle Reaper, Tripped, Minolo, Scabby D, Fofo, Tripped One Skin, and Base Gamer. Thank you guys a lot for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Be sure to join the Apple Earpods Discord server if you haven't. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.